called as SCR, and how it is constructed means the construction part will be clearly mentioned here. You can observe the diagram. Here is there any, okay, this diagram. So in this diagram, you can see how it is constructed. SCR will be constructed using 4 layers here. First P and PN. So 4 layer. This is a 4 layer, 3 junction, 3 terminal device. Okay, it is 4 layer, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 layer, 3 junction, 3 terminal device. What is SCR? You can see in the image clearly. Got it? How it is constructed means we consider this as 2 diodes connected back to back, one after the other. 2 diodes connected one after the other. And what about the other terminal? Actually, diode in the sense we think it is 2 terminal, but we have 3 terminals here. The terminal is called as gate, and it is present here in this case. Okay, can you follow where I'm showing? So here in this P area, we have one more terminal extended out, and that is taken as gate here. Okay, so once we mention about gate, gate is the one which controls over there, isn't it? So gate is the one which controls the flow between anode to cathode. Electron flow will be from, the current flow will be extended from anode to cathode with the help of gate over there. Okay, so this is the symbol which is used. And now how the operation goes on means, first based on the gate voltage, if the gate voltage is very less, you can observe that gate voltage is very less. It indicates the amount of reverse bias voltage applied to J2 is increased. So reverse bias voltage applied to J2 is increased, and then at that time we can say that breakover voltage will be very high. When the gate voltage is gate current is increased, when the gate current is increased to very high, more than 0, at that time the reverse bias voltage applied to J2 will be decreased. The reverse bias voltage applied to J2 will be decreased. At that time there will be conduction between all the layers over here. Okay, so how long this goes means, it continues, it conducts so continuously, and the point at which the G is allowing to conduct is called as breakover. The point at which G is allowing to conduct is called as breakover here. Okay, what I say, is it clear? I'm repeating it again. See, based on the gate voltage only, conduction will be there. If gate voltage is very less, is less than 0, something like that, we see J2 junction is reverse bias. Reverse bias means here no contact. So in such case, no conduction. If I increase the current between, if I increase the current here in G terminal, gate terminal, what happens? We see that reverse bias of J2 is decreased. Reverse bias of J2 is decreased means potential barrier width will be lessened. J2 potential barrier width will be lessened, and then at that time there will be a conduction between anode to cathode. So at this instant, it will be continuously in on condition only. Okay, it will be continuously in on condition. We can't make the device off. Okay, so the point at which G is making the device on is called as firing. The point at which G is making the device on is called as firing, because after that triggering or firing, we can't control the device. It will be continuously in on condition. How to make this device off means, we need to reduce the anode current over there. We need to reduce the anode current over here. So if we make this anode current less than the holding current means the point which holds the device to be in on condition is called as holding current. So if I make anode current is less than holding current, at that time the device will be in off condition. Okay, so all these explanation I can show it in a graph. So this is the very important graph which I explained just now. You can clearly see if I increase the forward voltage, just like your VIE characteristics of diode, if I increase the forward voltage here continuously, there won't be that much conduction, very less current will be there. After a certain point where it is reaching the breakover voltage, uh, you can see the current will be initially very less. I mean, it is very less, but it is moving backward. And then if you are still increasing, if you are still giving the connection, means at particular point, it goes to IL and then starts conducting. Okay, what I mean is, you can see that once you are increasing the voltage, forward voltage, continuously give your gate voltage at that time. So gate current will be given. So once you give the gate current, at that moment, you will get this curve. Immediately it switches to this region where it is entering into forward bias. Okay, so continuously the device will be in working mode. How can I make it off? Means I need to pull this gate voltage. I need to pull this anode voltage or anode current to very less than IH. IH is the holding current which is holding the device into conduction. So if I make this IG very less than IH, then only the device will be off. So I'm pointing in the graph, see it clearly. So what is IH means? It is a holding current. If I make IG below that holding current, then the device is off. Otherwise, if you are making IG in any variation, it just goes there, again returns back. It just goes there and again returns to forward bias only. So it is still in continuous working only. Okay. So if you are in IL, if the current is IL, it comes to this position, again comes to forward bias here. So only we have that many graphs here. Is it clear? Unless you make IG as below, anode current as below IH, the device will be in on condition only. That's what the graph is indicated this many times here, to show that it regains back to conduction mode. So this point is taken as triggering. This point will be taken as triggering. So in reverse bias, as usual, as we observe in forward bias, as we observe in PN junction diode reverse bias, the same condition occurs here. Okay. So this is called as reverse blocking mode, and this is called as forward blocking mode. And this point is taken as conduction mode. Okay, three regions of operations are there: forward blocking mode, forward conduction mode, and the other one is reverse blocking mode. So these are the three working operations. Okay, and then actually, if we clearly see the structure of this SCR, so as I told you, it is connected this way. If I break open it, separate it, this diagram is very important for your exam. In your exam, this diagram should be there and this diagram should be there. And explanation of this should take nearly 1.5 page. Explanation of this should take nearly 1.5 page. So totally for 14 mark or 13 mark, 3.5 page. 14 mark means 4 pages you have to write. Don't just write 1 page and try to get the mark. Don't expect mark. If you write 1 page, you won't get mark. You will get only 2 mark or 3 mark, like that only. So for big question, 13 mark question means nearly 3.5 pages should be there. And then 14 mark means nearly 4 pages should be written. Pages in the sense, first front to back, front to back. Understood? First page, second page, like that. I think you can understand clearly. So this diagram should be there, symbol should be there, explanation of this, construction of that should be explained, and how it is working principle should be explained. I'll post the video also for that, you see it. And then working modes, as I told you, forward, conduction, all those. Draw this diagram, 1.5 page explanation you can give based on this diagram. And then construction part. Okay, now let me continue the construction part. And then you have applications on it. These diagrams are not required. advantages of it and applications and all, you can mention it. Okay, and now let me explain the structure of it. So if I split this SCR, I can make it as PN regulator power supplies and as the AC switches. Okay, so that's what the circuit is here. AC alternating switch here and all for 3-input phase AC supply. AC supply means not your household equipment. It is alternating current. Okay, that is 230 volt to your DC voltage. 10 volt conversion, 30 volt conversion, like that. So in such case, we go for it. Okay, so AC motor control and all, we will see that. Alternating current induction motor speed. Okay, AC means it's not air conditioner. You mind that. There will be using SCR. Mainly in electrical circuits, we use SCR. And DC motor control using SCR. Direct current. Okay, direct current means you remember it as battery voltages, and AC means alternating current which you get from transformer. Okay, these are the applications. I will mention few more. I have mentioned few more application. Now let's see the advantages of it. What are the advantages compared to electromechanical or mechanical switches? SCR has no moving parts, whereas in mechanical switches there should be some movement. Even in watch also we see that, isn't it? So how the mechanical based watch is constructed? Big towers and all, we can see mechanical switches will be constructed. In some movies also you might have seen, no, Arya movies there. Okay, you can see that in a big clock tower and all, mechanical switches only used, whereas SCR has no moving parts, so wear and tear of that will be very less. So it will have good life over there. Okay, and efficiency will also be very high. That is the reason what we say electromechanical switches have been replaced by SCR, and then switching speed will be very high here. One more thing is current rating. All this you need not say that much. Okay, it is operated at high voltage and current rating with a small gate current only. Okay, with a small gate current itself, you can operate the device, and more suitable for AC operations, because AC in the sense